So the Chelsea search goes on. There's rumours that they're going to take their time over this and interview at least 7 managers. But it looks like there are 2 clear favourites at the moment, Nagelsmann and Enrique. So the fans have had their say on which one they want out of the 2. And I don't really like Pochettino as well. He's another one who's in there. But I'm just going to be focusing on the 2 that seem to be the overwhelming favourites at the moment. So first of all, let's look at Enrique. I did a video regarding Enrique the other day, talking about the pros and cons. And I was saying that he hasn't proved himself outside of Barcelona. But you know what? The more I'm looking at it, the more I'm doing my research, he's becoming more appealing. I like his style, he's, watch his style and, studied him a bit more. And he plays with he's a 4-3-3 man who likes to play with 2 inverted wingers. He likes the fullbacks to be creating width on the outside. So the personnel that we've got, we've got people like Modric who can invert. We've got people like João Felix who can invert as well. Sterling can invert. So we've got players who can play that inverted winger role. And we've got fullbacks who love to bomb forward in Reece James and Ben Chilwell. And even when the other guy comes in, what's his name? The guy we're getting from France. Name escapes me at the moment. But so and Cucurella, can he play that role as well? I'm thinking about having 2 players for every position. So we've got fullbacks who do like to bomb forward. And the other thing, Gusto, that's his name. And the other thing is what I like about him is that he plays fast football. He's not, because when he took over from Pep, if you remember, Pep's is the tick-attacker style. So he likes to get the ball forward as quickly as possible in aggressive pressing from the front. But his football is incisive and direct, quick transitions from defence to attack. Okay, yeah, the front 3, the MSN front 3, which greatly helped the way that he played his football. But we've got some young promising footballers. Obviously, they're not on the same level. But when you think of the promise of the likes of Modric, João Felix, if we keep hold of him, Mudieke and things, they are fast, dynamic type footballers who can beat a man with a trick here and a trick there. And if you can coach them into becoming near to that level of that front 3 that Barcelona had, then it could be exciting times for Chelsea. And he plays like with the 3 across the middle. He likes like a Busquets role, so we may need to get in that holding player, because we haven't got anyone off the Busquets type. And the Iniesta, Fernandes can be like the Iniesta type. And he's also Rakitic, but we've got N'Golo Kante or even Kovacic, our own Croatian player who can play in that particular role. So outside of, as I said, the only thing is outside of Barcelona, he didn't have a good adventure with the Spanish national side. And Roma, he learnt a few years still earlier. Celta Vigo, he did well. That's what got him the Barcelona job in the first instance. Moving on to Julian Nagelsmann now. We know about Julian Nagelsmann. Started managing at the age of 28. So he's worked under Thomas Tuchel when at Augsburg, and he's also a disciple of the Ralf Rangnick type of football. So the Genga press type of football, high pressing from the front, high line as well. What the Klopps and everyone else plays, that high line of football. In the Premiership, it can be a bit risky sometimes, as we've seen now with Klopp. So sometimes you have to be putting away your chances, because the way that we're playing, we're not putting away our chances. So if we're left open at the back, we can be vulnerable on the counter. And he prefers the 3-5-2 that's his main go-to. When he was over at Leipzig, that was his main style: 4-3-3 at the back. And so with a three at the back, it doesn't utilise the wingers. We've got lots of wingers in our team at the moment. It gives us an extra defender, but our abundance of midfielders and wingers, there's going to be someone who's left out. He did adapt, mind you, when he was at Barcelona, at Bayern Munich, because at Bayern Munich, they have some very good wingers there, so he started to play the 4-2-3-1 there. So he has made some switches. He's proved that he can, be tactically flexible in his approach. But his go-to is that three at the back. And with the personnel at Chelsea, I don't know what he'll do. Would he do the three at the back because we've got abundance of defenders, or we've got a lot of wingers? So would he switch to wingers? I don't know. So that's a conundrum that he will have to solve. So with him as well, as I said, because he had that big job at Bayern, which I thought he did okay. He won a Bundesliga and he won the German Cup, but there was some discontent with some of the older players as well. Chelsea, we've got a few older players. Are they going to be managed out? Are we going to have a young squad? Because if we're sticking with a younger squad, he's good at working with a young squad, younger players. If the older, experienced ones are shipped out, then maybe that may make his work and life a bit easier. So out of the two, which one would I go for? I don't know, because already in our fan base, there is, we can see some fighting. Some people are in the Enrique camp, some are in the Nagelsmann camp, and they are already, having their agendas, why one should be picked over the other, or one shouldn't be picked over the other. And we know what's going to happen once one, the favoured one comes in, because the way the fans are like nowadays, if it's not their favoured one, they're going to always try and find fault with whoever takes over, who's in charge. But, I've got no clear favourite. For me, I don't mind which one of the two, as long as they bring back winning football, as long as they can bring entertaining football to the club. If I had to choose, if someone sort of put a gun to my head and say choose one, I'll probably be leaning more towards Enrique at this moment, simply because it's not only his style of football, but he's not afraid to ruffle a few feathers. He's already had fallouts with your Neymars before and other big stars, because he doesn't accept any sort of nonsense from his players. No matter who you are, no matter how big you are, he is a boss, and that's what our players need, someone who's a boss. And that's something what was labelled at Graham Potter, actually. One of the reasons he lost his job was because he was too soft on the players. Some of the players were expecting him to lose his cool sometimes when we weren't performing in the first half. Total contrast from what Thomas Tuchel was giving them, but he was just a bit too nice. Players sometimes need that, you need discipline. So with my children, they need discipline sometimes. I can't always be nice to them. Sometimes you got to play the dad, sometimes you got to play the friend, and then other times you got to play the dad. So you need that discipline. They respect you for that. Yeah, and because he wasn't being hard on the players when they needed that firmness, then they lost a bit of respect for him. And that sends out the wrong message as well, because it says, you know what, I can do what I want and the manager's not ever going to have a go at me. I remember once when I used to manage or part manage a club, and we gave a player strict instructions when he came on. He weren't following those instructions, so we subbed him after 5 minutes. What did that do? That sent out a message. You do as we say, otherwise you're out of the team. And that's what that's what these players need. And Enrique is the type of manager who can deliver that message, share that firmness to the players and say, it's my way or you're out. And so he's good at getting rid of players as well who he doesn't buy into his philosophy. And we've got a lot of players there who we need to get rid of. And so if he's not scared to ruffle a few feathers, then that's why he kind of gets my vote as well as his tactical nous. And he comes with a big CV as well. So he's won a couple of La Ligas, he's won the Champions League, he's won 3 Copa del Rey. So it's quite a lot of trophies. And just finally on him, one ex-player likened him to a cross between Pep Guardiola and Jurgen Klopp. So that's not bad. That's not a bad comparison. So. And Pep Guardiola has said that he's one of the best managers that he's faced as well. So he's got a good CV. Players rate him highly, managers rate him highly. So, and he's learning English as well. and he's keen on the job. And the other thing is, he's free, he's available, so we don't have to worry about compensation. There is a bit, do we have to pay compensation for Nagelsmann because he's still on the books with Bayern Munich? There's a little bit of a grey area around that. We don't know what's going on there, but he's, and Nagelsmann as well may want a little break after what happened to him at Bayern Munich. So again, is he willing to come now? So if we got somebody like a Enrique who can come start playing now, get ready for the Real Madrid game. He's played against Real Madrid so many times, so he's used to the atmosphere, he's used to what to expect. So if we can get him in situ before the Real Madrid game, yes, so there's a lot of pluses why he maybe shades it over Nagelsmann. But what's your opinion, Nagelsmann or Enrique? Stick your comments in the section below, and I'll see you guys on next video. Take care. Bye bye.